Now to a story that's been touching hearts nationwide. CBS Philadelphia hosted a telethon yesterday in memory of a young girl to help in the fight against pediatric cancer.
I've got a number.
Okay, let's do it.
I've got a number. Let's see here. Oh, my. That's nice. Are you ready?
Yeah.
How about a human drum roll? Everybody go. Brrr. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. Right now, and our phones will stay open until after, I guess, our 11 o'clock news. But right now, 7,310,219. How about that?
And if you think that's a big number, we got some more big numbers coming up. Alex Scott was diagnosed with neuroblastoma as an infant, and at 4 years old, she came up with the idea to sell lemonade to support childhood cancer research. Her lemonade stand went viral, and she reached her goal of raising $1 million before passing away in 2004 at the age of 8. Alex's parents started a foundation in her honor, and they are the executive directors of Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. And they've raised, how about this number, more than $300 million so far. That money helps fund over 1,500 research projects and supports nearly 30,000 families affected by cancer. CBS Philadelphia has been covering Alex's story for over 20 years now. Take a look.
In the brief 8 years that she was alive, Alex Scott accomplished more than many people who see old age.
Yeah, they told us that she had a tumor in her abdomen wrapped around her spine. They weren't sure what kind of cancer, but they said it was bad.
She decided to take on cancer itself with a lemonade stand.
She started talking about having a lemonade stand.
So tell me about this lemonade stand. Why did you start this?
To raise money.
To raise money for what?
For cancer research.
Alex Scott is really selling hope at 50 cents a glass.
Alex's funds research that is changing the face of childhood cancer around the world.
I don't think you ever forget the moment a doctor tells you your child has a brain tumor.
So when I started researching, the first thing I saw was an Alex's Lemonade story, and it just gave us tremendous hope.
Meeting other children who were in treatment and who were out of treatment, it was just a good sense of community, and it just gave us so much hope.
But cancer certainly does not define Lily.
She loves rowing, and not just pursuing rowing, but embracing her disability and her difference and using that to lead.
Rowing is honestly just there's no care in the world. You don't have to care about what's happening on land.
4 years, no evidence of disease, cancer-free.
Say no more medicine.
No more medicine, that's right.
Yeah, there's literally kids that are alive today because of things that we have funded.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When you have bad things, make good things.
Is that what you've done?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Alex's parents, Liz and Jay Scott, join us now for more. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Look, this is the kind of life's work that no one would have volunteered for, signed up for. It's not what you expected to be doing. And to lose a child is just a tragedy that you really never get over. But to be able to help so many other families with their children, it's got to feel amazing. And then $7 million just yesterday. First off, $7 million, how does that feel?
I mean, every time people donate and we see the support from the beginning, we feel overwhelmed with gratitude, but just incredibly proud that Alex created this. But more importantly, really proud of the work we've been able to do to help families.
Did you ever expect this? I mean, did you get an inkling early on that it was going to happen? It was going to go viral like this?
I think Alex went viral before there was social media.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what would have happened if it happened today with social media. But yeah, we would get phone calls from people from all over. We would get letters in the mail from people, and the letters would be addressed to Lemonade Girl, United States.
And they would find you.
From all over the world.
From all over the world, and would find our front door with the post office.
Wow. What's it like? What did she say it for, though, Jay, that led to all of this? And I wonder what it's like. I get choked up just looking at her pictures and her face and hearing her voice. I wonder what it's like for you all to see her back then and where it's come today. And how long did it take before you could finally, we were talking about grief earlier today, before you could laugh and you could smile and you could say, we're going to do this. But first start off with her at 4, how she got this, and how you all have processed it all. Thank you.
She was in the hospital for a month getting a transplant, and she told us she wanted to have a lemonade stand, and we said, well, we live in Connecticut and it's winter, so probably not. But then eventually she kept asking about setting up a lemonade stand, and we said, Alex, what toy do you want to buy? And she said, oh, I don't want to keep the money. I want to give it to doctors.
Wow.
So they can come up with treatments, because she had received this treatment, an experimental treatment that made her feel better. She said, I want to give the money to the doctors so they come up with treatments like the one I got.
At,
that gave her
at 4
hope.
years old.
At 4 years old.
And tell me, Liz, when did you realize that you guys could smile again? Because I often wonder when parents are in this situation, it's a club nobody wants to be in, where you lose a child, where you can smile again and say, okay, we can carry on, we can do this.
I mean, I get emotional thinking about it because it's very hard. And I talk to parents a lot who've just lost children. What I tell them is, you will smile again, you will feel happy again. It might be different, right? It might be a different kind of happy, but you can still feel happy and enjoy life. And I wouldn't say it was like a switch. You would find there were moments you would still laugh about things and smile. But I think the biggest thing is to honor your child who didn't get to live the life you wanted them to live. You have to carry on, right? I feel like it would, for everything she went through in her life, it would not be respecting and remembering her to not live the best life that we possibly could, something she wanted so desperately for herself and for other kids.
Yeah, the word research comes up quite a bit, and that gives families hope. What strides have you seen when it comes to research, even specifically with neuroblastoma?
So amazingly, a project that we were one of the funders of has cured a lot of kids with the type of neuroblastoma that Alex had. So we found out a couple of years ago, had she been diagnosed today, she would likely be cured.
Wow.
And that's because of the work that we were able to fund, and because of the donations, people giving $1 at a time at lemonade stands all over the country.
It's an amazing thing. One of the initiatives that you're funding is with $30 million, so that's a pretty big chunk of change. The Crazy 8 initiative, what is that, Jay?
So the Crazy 8 initiative is an initiative where we're doing projects that are $5 million each, but they're looking at the most difficult to treat cancers. These are cancers that are incurable right now. And so we're trying to cure the incurable. And, you know, we don't want other families to go through what we had to go through with losing Alex. And so we're all in on these deadly cancers.
I'm still fascinated by Alex, though. I can't get over it. At 4 years old, that she suggested that comes from good parenting, really. Yeah. Clearly, you had taught her compassion and empathy. But where do you think that came from? That she would, at 4, would see this, Liz?
I think she had a real stubborn streak, which served her well.
Yeah.
I think she got it from
him,
Dad. But
he didn't argue it.
She grew. I mean, she was diagnosed before she was 1. I think just growing up in that, she was surrounded by things all the time, and she developed just a compassion for the kids that she knew.
It forces you to mature fast too when you're a child, right?
Very fast. We used to call her Grandma. She was very wise.
Grandpa. I think it's interesting. Jay said he couldn't have imagined, Tony, that it would be this big. The question that you asked, but Liz, you said you could see it go this big.
I can believe it because I think Alex had a vision for it, and it just took us a little longer to understand it.
Yeah, it's just amazing to be thinking, like, where are we going to put this $5 million or this $5 million?
Yeah, we know she might have been an old spirit, but one thing is for sure, her spirit lives on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Liz, Jay, Scott.
It's a wonderful legacy.